To find ArcMap, go to the Start menu, All Programs, and find the ArcGIS folder. You may already have a shortcut on your desktop. If so, you can just find the icon that looks like a globe with a magnifying glass and double-click that icon to open the program. When it opens up, you'll see a window that gives you an option to open a map you've already created. However, since we haven't created a map yet, just leave the default option to create a new map selected and click OK. You'll notice there's no actual map in the window yet, and this is because we need to create it ourselves by adding individual layers of data to the map, one layer at a time. This area on the left of the window is where all these layers will be listed, and this is called a table of contents. The big open space to the right is where the map will actually show up as we begin to add data. There are many toolbars that you can see in various places in the window, just like in Word or in any other program. These toolbars can be moved around by clicking on the little bar that's on the left-hand side of the toolbar and dragging the toolbar to float somewhere in the screen or to dock it somewhere at the edge of the screen. To add data to the map, you want to find the Add Data button, which is the black and yellow plus sign. If you hover your mouse over any of these tools, a tip will appear telling you what the button is. So go ahead and click the Add Data button, and then navigate to wherever it is on your computer that you have your data stored. You can click on one shapefile and then the Add button to add a single layer of data in, and then repeat the process to add additional layers. Or, if you hold down the Control button, you can click on multiple layers and add more than one at once. I'm going to select Colleges, Trans, which stands for Transportation and is primarily roads, and this METWP shapefile, which is a layer of all the towns in Maine, and click the Add button to add them into my map. When you add the layers to the map, you will see the layer name and their symbol in the table of contents on the left, and the actual data will appear in the area to the right. There are three different kinds of shapefiles: points, such as this college layer, lines, such as roads and streams, and polygons, such as this towns layer, or ponds, or anything that has a shape to it. ArcView will default to putting the points on top and the polygons at the bottom of the table of contents, and the layers will be drawn in the map in the same order. I can change the order by clicking on a layer in the table of contents and dragging it beneath the others. So if I click and drag this colleges layer to the bottom of the table of contents, it will also be the bottom layer in the map. It looks like it disappears. It's still there, but because there's a polygon layer on top of it, it's no longer visible. So I'm going to drag it back up to the top in the table of contents. This transportation layer shows all the roads down to the smallest ones, which is why it looks so busy in this map. Because of this, I may not want it to display. To leave the layer in the map, but not have it be drawn, I just click on the checkbox next to it in the table of contents. If I wanted to remove it entirely, I would right-click on the name of the layer in the table of contents and select Remove. One of the most vital features of GIS is that the attribute information is tied to spatial information. In other words, for this colleges layer, all of the information about each school is tied to the geographic location of each school. I can view all of this attribute data by right-clicking on the colleges layer in the table of contents and selecting Open Attribute Table. I can use the bar at the bottom of this window to scroll through all of the different attributes that are included in this layer. For instance, the name of the school, its address, what county it's in, directions to where the school is, what types of degrees they offer, and its enrollment. If I use the scroll bar to the right of the window, I can scroll through all the different records for the schools that are in this layer. Because the attribute information and the location of each of these schools are tied together, if I highlight one of the schools by clicking on the gray box to the left of the record, that school will also be highlighted in the map. It's important to note that each shapefile actually consists of many different file types. If you open up your Data folder in Windows Explorer, you can see all these various files. For example, the colleges layer actually consists of 7 different files. The DBF file is a database of all the attribute data, such as the name and enrollment of each school, that we just viewed. The PRJ file defines the projection, which has to do with how the layer is placed onto the surface of the Earth. And the SHP file contains the actual geometry and shapes of the layer. If you ever need to place a data layer on a disk or email it to someone, it's very important to be sure that you include all of the various files that are associated with that layer. Otherwise, it will not display in your map. You'll want to save your map as soon as you start working on it. ArcView has a tendency to crash, and you don't want to lose any of your work. Saving an ArcView map is just like saving a Word document. Go to the File menu, choose Save As, and navigate to the folder where you want to save your map. Type in a name under the file name box and click Save, and now you've created your first map.